everybody, and welcome to Wine Library TV. I am your host, Gary Vaynerchuk, and this is Wine Library TV. Have you ever invented a character and then he beat you in the face with a stick? That's what's happening to me. Oak Monster, 97, Vaynerchuk, 4. It's probably even worse than that. The Oak Monster is on fire. What am I talking about? I'm talking about this. What has the Oak Monster ever done for you? I've been sitting here sweating, bleeding for years, putting out wine information, and you, the Vayniac Nation, have clearly made your choice. It is not even close. You prefer the Oak Monster. Right. Everybody's buying the Oak Monster. He's a good guy. He's real fun. You like the Oak Monster, don't you? On the other hand, the Gary Vaynerchuk going through the Bull and China shop, wearing my patent green t-shirt, jet style, you're not buying this. You don't like this. You don't want to put GV on your chest. I don't blame you, but you're not. Can I get a little something for my own pride? Can somebody throw me a bone and pick up a GV t-shirt? It's a tough day. A lot of things to be pissed about today on this Friday. Well, I'll tell you something else I'm pissed about. You see this? Vayniac wristband. Over 4,000 shipped to the Vayniac Nation. For Fremont? Yes, for free. And guess what? All I asked for was a picture. How many do we have? Link down here. Check it out. About 100 or so. Lots of you. Shame, shame. Guess what? We do know your names. Don't open your next package. All right, so we're going to focus on Rieslings today because Rieslings is something that I'm very passionate about. We talk about Rieslings. It's summertime now. It's time to drink these things. But a lot of you have emailed me from the last Riesling episode and said, great, I love it, cool, but I'm concerned about the price points. There's no entry level, as we like to call Rieslings, things that I can really try out at a price that's not so big, And so what I have here today is 3 Rieslings, 2 with screw tops. We're going to try them out, and I'm excited about that because it's very, very important to open up your mind, and especially with a grape that I think can absolutely revolutionize your palate, revolutionize your thought process about white wines. So many people think of Riesling as sugar down water. I know right now you're watching, you're like, I actually do. You know you do. You think it's sweet junk. I'm here to tell you it's not. Or maybe it is. We're going to try it out. But before we get into the actual tasting today, even though that's what we do on WLTV, we're going to talk about the Vayniac t-shirt contest. Link down here. Expires next Saturday, the 23rd. It's been months. Send in your stuff. If you don't know what we're talking about, there's a link right down here. Check it out. You win a trip with me to Napa Valley or Oregon. We can go there. A lot of people like me there. We can go there, but anywhere in California or Washington State or Oregon for a weekend with me. We'll taste. I've got it pretty much set up in California, but if you want to flip the switch, I'm going to give you that option. I'm aiming for August or September, but if it's in September, I got to be back by Sunday because my beloved New York Jets are going to play, so I need to be back. Keep that in mind. Link down here. Chris Mott just mentioned to me that if you've already submitted an entry, please email him and remind him because he forgot, lost it, and we don't want to keep you out of it. So I'm going to pick, me and the staff are going to pick 3 finalists, and we'll show you them in a couple weeks, and then you guys will vote on it, and somebody's going to win a ridiculous trip. So, let's start with some wine. We're going to start right now with the Rocky Gully Riesling, 2006 from Western Australia. I'm not going to break the camera, right? Don't do that? Okay. Western Australia, 06 from Franklin River, 12 bones from Rocky Gully. Really great little producer from Australia. This is Western Australia. I brought out the big glass today because I needed to do something to make myself feel better about the oak. So, really, really nice, classic, crisp color. I like it. A little frizzante in the air. Makes it fun. Very fresh. Beautiful peaches coming through. Almost like a, peaches kind of with a Prosecco poured over them. So if you've ever made a peach dessert, you slice up a bunch of peaches in a bowl and you pour Prosecco into it. Very classic Italian thing that some of my friends do. That's what this is really coming through and smelling exactly like. There is actually a little hint of petrol, which is always making its way into the Riesling world, but it's very subtle. This is much more of a peachy, frizzy action going on. Let's give it a whirl. One comment about yesterday, I got over 20 emails that said, your body language said 65 or 70 or 80, but you scored yesterday's wines 87, 88, 89. Was I off? It wasn't. It was just my disappointment with the price points and the hypes of those wines. They were still solid wines. So I just wanted to kind of throw that out there because a lot of people email me about that. Speaking of solid wines, this is extremely solid. Very crisp, very focused on the mid-palate, which I enjoy. That bluestone aspect, that crispness, that freshness, that seashell coming through, very obvious in this wine. Very complex and rich, yet balanced and structured. Very dry, bone dry on the finish, which I really appreciate. It is an absolutely well-made, structured bottle of white wine at 12 bones. An absolute buy. I'm going to go 89 plus on this wine. I want to give it a 90, but it just, again, doesn't have that oomph power. But again, for 12 bones, this is an absolutely beautiful way to get into Rieslings. And if you're a shellfish fan, if you like light salads, for example, I'll tell you what Riesling goes tremendous with. Hot dogs with sauerkraut. It's the white wine pairing for a hot dog. It's that time of year. Yankees making a run on the Bo Sox. Getting a little scary now. So this is something definitely worth seeking out and widely available. I know a lot of people complain about that. So that's a nice wine. I like that. Wine number 2. Let's do this. Screw tops. You gotta love them. Just pop it. It's just awesome. Van Boel Armand Riesling Cabinet 2005. 90 points, Wine Spectator, $15 US, and that is a nice bargain for a serious, real German Riesling. So I won't get into all the crazy dynamics of German Rieslings. I've noticed as I've done shows, people have emailed me and said, why don't you go in depth to this? Not realizing a lot of people are jumping in later in the game. Not everybody's watched since episode 1. So if you want to go back, search German Rieslings. But this is a Riesling cabinet, which tends to be a little bit on the drier side. We have some really nice frizzante going on as well in this wine. This is actually really beautiful, light golden color. This actually has a very intriguing smell. It actually smells like wet. What is the sheetrock? It smells like wet sheetrock, and I don't even know why. I can't remember why I know that. Luckily, I've never been in a house fire and then after. So wet sheetrock clearly coming through for me.
Or basement flood.
Mott's basement on the big flood a couple weeks ago. Bad memory. I'm getting wet sheetrock. I'm getting a little bit of hint of pear coming through. Beautifully sliced baby pear. Let's give it a whirl. Piper's Pit. Classic. This is a little bit sweeter than the Rocky Gully. I'm getting a beautiful, apricot pear maritage. They got married and they're going to have kids. And it's going to be apple pear. But it's really an absolutely nice, simple Riesling. And that's kind of bothering me. Again, 15 bones. Now you're starting to pay a little bit. That's a little something, something. And 90-point Spectator, I'm not sure. Let me just give it one more whirl. It's nice and refreshing. It's 9.5 alcohol content, so it's light. It's a great spritzer. I mean, this is the kind of bottle you want to take on your date, and hopefully she'll consume the entire bottle, and then it gets interesting. But this wine is not as interesting as that move. We call it the Eric Kastner move. That move is much more interesting than this wine. I'm going to go overall 88 points on this wine. I like it, but again, it's simple and complete, just lacks the oomph to be classified as a 90-plus point wine. Overall, it's got a little bit more sweetness than some of the Rieslings that you would expect from Cabinet. So I don't know. All in all, it's kind of, it's solid. It's solid. Finally, Domaine Chauffiet Riesling Hearth Tradition, 90-point Spectator, $16 US. And this is a beautiful producer from the Alsace. Let's see what this one is bringing to the table. Again, Riesling is one of these grapes that is so well respected amongst the real serious nerds of the world, yet completely dissed by the, up-and-coming new wine drinkers. So it's kind of one of those really interesting things to see. Kind of lack of knowledge is hurting people on the Riesling, so definitely go seek out. This is definitely a much deeper, darker colored Riesling of the bunch. Alsace is, really where the action is, as I like to say. Now this nose is spectacular. This is coming through with very heavy components of pineapple, mango, lemon, and peach. It's really a tropical forest, and you're running through it naked and happy about it. That's what's really coming through on this nose. Let's give it a whirl. ...2004 vintage, classic integration of that petrol and that apricot, pineapple, mango flavor. Slices through like a razor on the mid palate, which I love, and then goes really creamy on the finish. As a 2004, it's still jumping around like it's a baby, yet it's got a little bit more of a rounded aspect than the other two wines. A lot more full on your palate, which is quite exceptional. This is an extremely good bottle of wine. I'm going to go 90 plus on this wine. It's one of the better Rieslings I've had under $20. Heck, maybe in the last couple of years. This is an exceptional effort. I'm going to sip on this a little bit. So for you really observant Vaniacs, you may have noticed something. Right down here, actually right over here, kind of right in this angle, there's a new little link. Friend me up. You can poke me, but what I want you to do is friend me up. Click that, and if you're part of any of those 3 social networks, be my friend. I'm really shallow, and I really have no self-confidence. So the more friends, the better. I mean, the Oak Monster completely kicked me in the nuts. Can you at least friend me up? Something. One of the two. So please do that. We're having a lot of fun. The Vaniac and the Vayner Nation is out of control. I really appreciate it. Now, quickly, I think you're going to like this. Just a little history lesson for some of you new Vaniacs. A little collage for a quick second, and then come back for something cool. It's the difference between a bull running through a china shop and a 74-year-old polished woman who's an antiquer for 73 years walking through a china or antique shop. That's the difference. Hit a deer on the road, let it fall down, throw a bunch of cherries on it, take out your knife that you always have on you, cut the deer, bite it, that's the flavor profile. And I'm going to score this wine 83 points, as it is an oak monster. And you don't want the oak monster to eat you, and I don't want it to eat me. Hope you like that. That was a lot of fun. Those are the original moments of the t-shirts, and hopefully there'll be more limited t-shirts coming soon. But today's question of the day is very focused and very important. I hope you can all answer it, because comments make me happy. Remember, shallow, lack of confidence? Today's question of the day is, what's the plan? Because you, with a little bit of me, we're changing the wine world.